All right. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Yeah, it's really nice to meet you, and I'm glad that you're here today. Just a couple things. I know this is our first session meeting, so before we get started, I just wanted to make sure you're comfortable, see how you're feeling, coming into this first session.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Recently I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety. I've always had anxiety for my whole life, but over the past year it's definitely gotten worse. I've started having panic attacks and it's just been really overwhelming.
Okay. And before we get any further, I also just want to talk about confidentiality and mandated reporting. So kind of before we dive into what brought you here, I just want to go over confidentiality and let you know that what we talk about stays just between us. The only times I'm required to share information that you tell me is, if you're planning to harm yourself or somebody else, or if there's any abuse or neglect in regards to a child or a vulnerable adult. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions about that?
No, that makes sense.
Okay. And also, you're going to see me kind of looking down. I'm just taking notes. I don't want to, everything that you say, I value, so I don't want to forget anything. Um, and if you have any questions in regards about anything I'm writing, I'm happy to share that with you. I just want to make sure I'm getting everything that you're saying.
Okay.
Okay, so you mentioned that you've had anxiety your whole life and that you have a lot of panic attacks. Um, is that kind of what brought you here today for therapy?
Yeah, it has. I feel like I'm just constantly worried about something.
Okay, so it sounds like things have been building up for a while and kind of weighing a little bit heavier on you.
Yeah.
Okay, and can you kind of talk about, I know you said your whole life, so in regards to the anxiety, can you talk about like what that looks like, how those feelings are?
Um, it looks like I don't know, it feels like my brain is just going like 1,000 miles per hour and I can't think. Sometimes I'm like shaking, I'm so anxious, and that's when I usually start to get panic attacks and I like can't breathe. My chest feels really tight.
Okay, and is this like daily? Do you feel like this is more like when you're in like crowds of people? Um, do you get these feelings? Are you currently employed?
Yeah, I currently work as a lawyer, so I feel like I always have pressure to perform well, and I'm always worrying about making mistakes or if something goes wrong.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely can understand that because you're socializing every day. You're in front of a judge, you're in front of, defense attorneys, and tension can get high, it sounds like.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Um, Let me just look at some of the notes. Did you notice were these feelings more when you became an attorney, or did you notice like at a younger age around school?
Um, I would say around school, and then it's progressively gotten worse once I became an attorney.
Okay. And and have you had any support from your parents, or have you sought therapy services in the past?
Um, no, I haven't had that much support from my parents. We're not that close, and I've never tried therapy.
Okay. Uh, Therapy. And do either of your parents struggle with any of the same similar behaviors that you have in regards to like the anxiety or the panic?
Not, I think my mom has anxiety. I don't know if it's as bad as mine, but a little bit.
Okay. Okay, and it sounds like you're under like constant pressure, especially being an attorney. And to have high expectations to perform even the small things. Do you feel like that wears on you? It sounds like I know is it kind of when you're in court all the time, certain cases?
Yeah, I would say it's when I'm in court all the time.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like um I definitely think there's a lot of things that we can work on, and I would like to continue meeting with you. If that's okay, maybe we can meet for a session next week and kind of get into the treatment planning stages on making some goal setting and moving forward, maybe kind of working on like some positive coping skills to kind of release the anxiety and the panic. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Okay, so if that's all right, I will have my staff reach out to you and we can schedule something for next week and begin some goal planning and kind of get into a little bit of what's called like a biopsychosocial, getting some more history and background, if that's okay.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay, well, thank you for coming. Do you have any questions?
Um, no, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you and have a good evening.
You too.